All right. Well, hello, everyone. I have Macie back with me today. Macie has five kiddos of her own, and she ran a garage dance studio and taught dance for 20 years. And so since then, she has transitioned into the Nook and Cranny Barn Boutique. So, hi, Macie. Tell us all
Hi.
about tell us all about the boutique and what it is.
Okay, well, I had two daughters and they were getting married, and neither one of them wanted a reception in the church. So we looked at renting a place, and I said, okay, if we rent a place, then you have to rent a wedding decorator because I'm not going to try to do it all in one day. And so I talked my husband into building a big barn. So I took months and we decorated it, and we had a couple weddings in it. And then I was kind of over the wedding thing because it's so much work.
Right.
Then I decided, what else can I do in my barn? And I had done holiday house boutiques for many years with Monica. And so I knew how to run one. And so we just tried it, and it was a big hit.
That's fantastic. So tell us how all of this works because I have no idea. So, first of
Oh,
all,
okay.
so you talk your husband into making this huge barn, and I assume this is on your
Yeah.
property where you live, right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
how do you even go about this whole boutique business? How does it work?
Okay. Well, I started painting furniture to sell, and I found that I really enjoyed it. So I set up my furniture in the barn to sell. And then we invited all the crafters and vendors and jewelry makers and bakers and everything. I'll show you the barn and you can get an idea.
Oh, that's super fun. Thank you.
Yeah. And then we got about 60 vendors and food trucks and clothing boutique trucks, and advertised it online. I've got to walk out of here. My son's on online classes. And people showed up, and it was a lot of fun. And what we do is we charge each vendor who wants to be in the sale $50. And they bring their things out, and the people outside in tents, it's kind of like a big flea market, but it's things people have made. They call them makers nowadays
Okay.
instead of vendors. And they set up their own little table and tent and take their own money. And then the people inside the barn, we run like a community yard sale where we take all the money and we take 10% for running the sale. And then at the end, we cut them a check what they made.
That's fantastic. So how often
Yeah.
do you hold these barn events?
We did one last May and one in September. And we're due for another one this May if the quarantine gets lifted.
Right?
And if not, then we'll do it in June or July or
So
whenever it's time.
do you do just a few a year and mostly through the spring, summer, and
Yeah.
fall? Is it a ton of work to
Yeah.
get one up and running each time that you do it?
You know, it really isn't, because all the vendors and makers do their own thing. And we just set up spaces in the barn with tape
Mm-hmm.
and send them a map where they're going to be. And they just fill in the spaces. It's a lot of fun.
It sounds super fun. So how did you track down all of these local vendors or makers?
I think a lot of it was Instagram. We go and, Instagram people would post things, and I'd say, oh, I love your product. How would you feel about joining us for our barn sale? And then sometimes we'd go to other boutique sales. Like Holiday House is a favorite of ours. And let's see, there's the Green Apple, and they do theirs at the Village. But one of our benefits is we don't have to rent a space to have it.
Yeah, that's a
We can
huge
just do it here
benefit.
whenever.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
huge
that's why we
part.
thought it would be fun.
That is
Yeah.
fun. So, what do you personally put up for sale in your barn, and what do you allow the others to bring in?
I do painted furniture. Um, I love to thrift shop. And so I just buy furniture and paint it, make it all cute and sell it. And then we have everything from homemade toys, homemade jams to jewelry. Trying to think. We have a really fun girl from England who makes all English desserts.
Oh, that's fun.
And then we have Blue Fringe Boutique. Have you heard of them? Blue Fringe Boutique and Millie Grace Boutique. They come out and bring stuff from their store. And we have food trucks. Let me think what else we have. A lot of baby stuff, pottery, lots of signs for the home, a lot of home decor,
So,
a lot of candies.
with the home decor, does it have to be something that's homemade, or do you let people come in that might have a seller's license that can just buy directly and sell it?
Yeah, that'd be fine. Yeah, because we have the clothing stores. The clothing stores, they're not homemade. And then 48 East, I think it's called 44 East, is a home decor store in Meridian, and they come out and do a tent.
Oh, that's so
And it's
fun.
just fun. The more variety we have, the better. And we try not to have a lot of duplication. Like if somebody's doing leather earrings, we try not to have any more than maybe one other. And one has to be outside and one has to be inside.
Oh, that's super smart.
And yeah, we don't want somebody to feel like they wasn't worth their time because there was so much competition.
So I noticed
But
on
it's fun.
Instagram that there was a vendor application. So does this kind of help
Uh-huh.
you make sure that there's a nice selection there and everyone's a little bit
Yeah.
different so that you just have a great shopping experience for anyone that comes?
Yeah, we look at everyone's product, and we either go to their Instagram site and look at their product, or they can submit photos.
Nice.
And we really haven't had a lot of problems with all being the same thing, because everyone's trying to be their own creative, put their spin on things. And then we have some stuff that is obviously homemade, and then we also have kid vendors. And the kid vendors, bring their little soaps or whatever they make, and that gets them started.
That's cute. Kind of like the street markets do downtown where they let all the kids come out and sell those
Exactly.
things. That's so great.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
that's a fun idea. Something that I would have never thought of doing it as like a home-based business. So I think this is super interesting. So it doesn't sound like it really took much on your end to invest in getting this business going, since you already had the barn and you're just able to
Yeah.
find used furniture that you personally just refinish and sell. Um, and it's not too expensive for the others too. So you said it's only $50 if they want to come and participate as a vendor.
And we've also been able to raise our prices. I think we started at 25,
Nice.
and we've able to raise our prices because we've gotten such a good reaction.
Yeah.
But people can do, all of our vendors work from home and make their own product.
That's awesome. I need to reach out and find some of those vendors, huh? They would be great interviews for
Yeah,
me.
they would. I've got a whole list of names for you.
Awesome. So I was going to ask, for a young mom to pull off something similar to this, if she didn't have access to a barn like you have access to, is this something that they could be done on a smaller scale, maybe in a garage or like a little pop-up shop in a home? Or what would you recommend for someone who maybe doesn't have the same resources that you have?
Well, I think that is how Holiday House got started. One of the husbands was a builder, and so they would use the model homes. and they would just fill the house from top to bottom and garage full of vendors. And I used to make tents out of old blankets and tablecloths. And I changed it up every year what I made. So if you can get a group of girls together, absolutely, in the summer especially, someone has a big yard. There's another one called Fancy Farm Girls. And they do I don't know if they still do it, but they did a boutique out of their backyard. And it had a great following. And they just did tents all in their backyard. And then their product was in their garage.
That's great.
So any space that's big enough to put a few tents.
And so
they could do a cul-de-sac sale.
Oh yeah. For the most part, do people avoid the winter season, or do they just kind of piggyback on other like local bazaars and things like that that are going on, or you just have to find like a venue that you could use?
Yeah. I avoid winter because of my location. All of our parking is in pastures. So, and my barn's not heated. But it works for us to do the summer and spring months. A lot of boutique markets or farmers markets or whatever you want to call them do indoor spaces, and Christmas is a big time for that. A lot of Christmas shopping done there. So I think it just depends on what you have available.
Yeah, it sounds like there's just a lot of flexibility. Just kind of have to think it through and find something that'll work for your circumstance. What are your favorite parts and least favorite parts of this new business of yours?
My least favorite is I have to go out when the weather turns nice and clean out the barn of all the flies and the bugs and everything. And my favorite is probably just opening day. You know, we have thousands of people come and get to talk to all of them and get to know the vendors, and it's fun. It's a big family. They come back year after year, and it's just fun.
So how long have you been doing it now?
This is our second year, but like I said, before that, I did Holiday House. And so I got to know a bunch of those girls. And yeah. So back when I wanted to be crafty and I wanted to sew and I wanted to be creative,
Mm-hmm.
It was just a really fun outlet. You just got to find your talents and what you like. Yeah. And I started painting furniture and didn't even know I was going to like it. And I love it. So fun. You never know. Some talents you don't even know you have.
That's true. Which is a good reason for us to keep exploring and trying new things, because we might find something that we just really, really love that we can share with others. So this is super fun. Are there any other last thoughts about this business or words of wisdom for those future moms out there that would love to do something similar to this one day?
Well, if you're crafty or you have a bunch of friends that are crafty, that's the way to start. Just open your house and fill your house with tents in the backyard, tables all through your house. It can be a one-day event, and it's just a fun hobby, and it's really trending right now. It's like basically having an Etsy shop right in your own home. It's just really trending and really fun.
And was it hard to get that first big crowd over, or were you networking enough with the other vendors and they were kind of spreading the word as well to make it so successful for everyone to come in? Is that kind of how it helped you get the traffic you were after?
Yeah, we put flyers out and signs out, but the best thing is word of mouth. All the vendors put all their advertising into Instagram and Facebook because they want people to come buy their products. Right. So it's really not a lot of work on our part. We just, we post on Instagram, but every sale we have, we get a larger crowd. Because right now, no one has really heard of us. And hopefully in 5-10 years, everyone will know about Nook and Cranny, and they'll watch for the next sale.
Yeah, and I love that you say in 5 or 10 years, because that means you love it and you want to keep doing it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that's awesome, Macie. Thank you so much for taking time these last
Yeah.
2 days to, I mean, you're so inspiring. You've done so much with your life. You just go out and
Aw.
make it happen. And I think it's great. And I think there's tons of girls out there that just need a Macie in their lives to just look up to and have someone show them the way and give them courage to move forward. And I'm just grateful for the influence you were on my girls' lives, and
Aw.
it's just been a pleasure to know you. You just bring sunshine, so I'm thankful for that. So we will
Well, stay in touch.
for sure, we will make that the end of our interview today, and we will see you all again soon.